Magandang araw sa inyong lahat. Ako po si Banat Bay. Ito na nga, pag-usapan na natin ang mga may init na issue ngayong araw na ito. Alam nyo, grabe ho ha, palala na ng palala. Hindi ho yung baha. Ang mga tangang politiko sa Pilipinas, mga tarantadong mga politiko sa Pilipinas, palala na ng palala mga utak nila. Kasi ho, meron diyang isang mambabatas. Abay, mantakin mo, bahang-baha na sa Cebu, ang sinisisipay ang Dolomite Beach. Actually, hindi lang isa yan. Marami silang tatanga-tanga dyan na para bagang sinasabi nila ang pagsasaayos at paglilinis ng environment ang isa sa dahilan ng pagbaha. Pero bago po mangyari ang mga ganyang klaseng usapan, ulitin lang po natin mga kababayan, baka naman pwede mag-subscribe na po kayo kasi sa mga nanonood, 52% hindi nakasubscribe. Pero alam nyo nakita ko yung statistics medyo umaangat na po ito. Marami na po ang nanonood na nakasubscribe. Pero kung maaari pa, yung iba pa, yung remaining na nanonood, baka naman pwede tayo mag-subscribe. Okay. Ito na nga, pag-usapan na po natin. Pero alam mo mga kababayan, meron silang isang common denominator. Ika nga, meron silang pinagkapareho. Ano ho, pare-pareho silang dating... Hindi ko alam kung dati o hanggang ngayon pa rin kaalyado ng mga NPA. Hindi natin alam. Basta ang alam ko dati silang mga membro ng mga Democratic Front. Alam naman natin CPP, NPA, NDF yan di ba? Magkakasama po sila diyan Kaya alam natin mga kababayan na sila po ay galit na galit sa mga Duterte kasi alam niyo naman ang Duterte. Ano yan sa kanila sagabal yan sa mga may itim nilang plano sa bayan natin. Hindi kasi alam naman natin na sila ay talagang nalumpo, humina nung panahon ni Pangulong Duterte. At lalong-lalo na si BP Sara Duterte, galit na galit yan, di ba? Sabi niya nga noon, dapat hindi na pinapapasok sa party list yung mga animal na yan. Kaya gagawin nila ang lahat para masira ang pangalan ng Duterte at hindi manalo si BP Sara Duterte. Sa bagay, pag nawala ho sila sa kamera, wala na hong sustento yung mga NPA nilang kaibigan. Tama, mali. Ganyan yung mga yan Alam naman natin na pinaguhugutan nila ng pera. Ang gagawin nila, alam mo yung mga yan, eksperto yan sa sa pangingikil. Ang gagawin nila, babanatan nila ng babanatan hanggang patahimikin sila nung nasa gobyerno. Lalong-lalo na yung kanilang amo dyan. Kasi syempre, pag may amo ka nga naman, babayaran ka lang o tumahimik ka na. Yun. May pera na yung mga kasamahan nila na NPA. Tama, mali. Gago! Kaya mga kababayan, natin to, bantayan natin to. Dapat talaga manalo si BP Sara Duterte. Pag hindi yun nanalo si BP Sara Duterte, tuloy-tuloy na lumalakas itong mga CPP, NPA, NDF. Alam nyo, humina na ito nung panahon ni Pangulong Duterte. Diba? Dahil dyan sa NTF-ELCAC, talagang matitindi sila. Pero nung as soon as nawala si Pangulong Duterte, ang una sa mga inusig nila ay walang iba kung hindi si Ka Eric at saka si Doc Lorraine na siyang talagang nagsiwalat ng mga kasinungalingan nitong CPP, NPA, NDF. Yan ang una nila. Kaya nga yan una nilang pinakulong sa kamera di ba? Ginamit lang nila yung SMNI na dahilan. Pero ang totoo niyan, galit na galit sila doon kay Ma'am Lorraine at saka dito kay Ka Eric dahil nga naman binulgar ang mga propaganda at kasinungalingan ng CPP, NPA, NDF. Naku po, pambihirang buhay Ganyan talaga sa Pilipinas di ba? Pag ikaw ay lumalaban para sa ikakaunlad ng bayan mo, talagang sisitahin ka, aanuhin ka. Ganyan na ginawa nila kay Pangulong Duterte, di ba? Kitang-kita naman po natin yan. Marami pa po tayong pag-uusapan, pero isa pa sa mga pag-uusapan natin ay yung issue kay Saldico. Naku po, patay tayo dyan. Gago! Saldico, namumuro ka na sa taong bayan. Hindi, kasi ito kay Saldico, kahapon, diniscuss natin, kung hindi nyo napanood yung video, panoorin nyo na lang kahapon, diniscuss natin yung video about doon sa abogado niya, na itong abogado niya pong ito, mantakin mo, binulgar. As in binuking. Binuking ang DOJ, binuking ang pamahalaan sa kanilang kaululan. Ano yun? Bakit? Ano sinasabi mo, Banat Bay? Hindi kasi kahapon sinabi niya na sasagutin ko, sabi niya, ang anumang issue. Hindi totoo. Na ipupukol kay Zaldico. Ano ba yung issue na yun? Wala pa. Putang ina niyan. Sa haba-haba ng panahon, na kaliwat kanan ang balita, propaganda, kaliwat kanan na sinasabing itong administrasyon na ito ay lumalaban sa korupsyon, lumalaban dito sa mga ghost control project na yan, ghost flood control. Pambira, hanggang ngayon pala wala pang kaso ang animal. Naintindihan nyo ibig ko sabihin, mga kababayan? Wala pang kaso ni isa. Ano yung mga pinagsasabi nila dyan sa social media, sa mga balibalita? Ay wala, pautot lang pala yun. Ganun katarantado itong gobyerno na ito. Ang daming sinasabi na kesyo labang kami. Sino ba nagsimula ng anti-corruption? Di ba? Si Marcos? Ganyan-ganyan pa sila. Di ba? Pero ngayon, mga kaibigan, wala pala ho. Wala pang demanda. Wala pang nangyayaring demanda. Ang lupit, di ba? Ibang level. Ibang level kayo. Hindi ko talaga maintindihan. Ibang level ho ang ginagawa nito. Sige, pakinggan nga natin. Ito.
Alright, now let's move on to Zaldico. Bakit hindi pa po nakakasuhan si Zaldico?
Yes. As I said, we are proceeding in a very systematic manner with due respect to the constitutional rights of the respondents, including the right of presumption to innocence. Okay.
Yan.
Presently,
Gala.
we have developing a case where Saldico is involved in possible 16 transactions. Okay? This has not been filed yet with the DOJ. We are making sure.
Yan. Ganda, di ba? Ganda naman yung sinabi niya. May due process, ika nga. Lupit, di ba? Ay, totoo naman. Sabi nga sa ating bayan, kailangan ng due process sa mga kakampi. Alam mo, ito wala namang kasalanan tong undersecretary na ito. Wala naman siyang kasalanan kasi may boss naman siya. Diba? Sumusunod lang siya sa utos at definitely sumusunod siya sa nag-appoint sa kanya. Pero alam naman natin, hindi naman kaila sa Pilipinas na ang due process na sinasabi nitong mga to ay lagi lamang doon sa kaalyado. Pero pagkakalaban, mula kay Pangulong Duterte, nung kay Bantag, kay Tebes, kay Pastor Kibuloy, walang due process na naganap. Talagang sabi nga nila, you cannot break the law but you can bend it. Di ba? Totoo, yan ang kanilang prinsipyo. So, dito, medyo parang asaan yung linya na kung saan may due process at kung saan merong bend the law. Hindi kasi alam mo, yun nga yung kinagagalit ng maraming abogado, lalong-lalo na si Senator Marcoleta, doon sa bend the law. Kasi yung bend the law, when and how are you going to apply it? Napakadelikado nun. The law is law. Alam niyo yun, ang batas ay batas. You cannot bend it. You understand what I mean? That is the law. You cannot, alam mo, ito bibigyan ko kayo ng matinding example. And I think most of you, especially those theologically knowledgeable, naiintindihan ito. Di ba? Sabi nga nila, alam mo, nung bata ako, ito walang question ito, nung bata ako, tinatanong ko sa sarili ko kasi every Holy Week, nanonood kami nung Passion of Christ o yung basta yung about sa pangyayari kay Kristo, di ba? Alam naman natin. Tapos hindi ko talaga maunawaan nun. Sabi ko, di ba, he is claiming as God. Bakit kailangan niyang magpapako sa krus? Bakit kailangan niyang magpapalo? Bakit kailangan niyang gawin ang lahat ng bagay na ito? At higit sa lahat, ba't kailangan niyang mamatay? Alam mo, isang lang ang dahilan yan. God is a God of justice. And yan ang pinakamatinding paliwanag sa you cannot bend the law. As a matter of fact, He is God. He can say, okay, patatawarin ko na kayo. Kayong mga makasalanang tao. Mula ngayon, you're forgiven. He can do that. But why Christ has to suffer and die? Because that what is called justice. Since the wages of sin is death, it has to be followed. Someone has to die for our sins. Yun po yun Yun yung bagay na even God did not bend the law. Kailangan matupad yun. Justice must be done. Justice must prevail. Kailangan merong mamatay dahil may nagkasala. If the first man sinned against God, it has to be paid by someone. And no one of us is capable of doing that because we are also guilty of sins. Only one man can do that. Ito yung sinless person, that is Jesus Christ. That's why He died, He suffered. He cannot bend the law. He has to do it. Isipin nyo yun that's how the law must be followed. Yun ang hindi ko maintindihan doon sa bend the law. Kung ang Diyos nga hindi ginawa yun He has to follow it. Kaya He has to send His Son to die for us. You understand? That's why He took the sin and died. So that we might live who believes in Him. Yun yung prinsipyo na you cannot bend the law. Tapos, may isang darating na sasabihin, okay, you will not break the law but you can bend it. Kaya naiinis ang tao. Naintindihan ninyo? Kaya naiinis ang tao kasi, ano to? Bigla ka magsasalita ng bend the law. Tapos, ngayong mga kaalyado mo na, o yung mga dati mo ng kaalyado, biglang may due process na. Pero pag yung mga maliliit nating kababayan, yung mga ating kababayan na nagnakaw lang na hindi na kailangan ng due process yan, dire-diretso na yan, nyariin na yan. Tapos lahat ng mga oposisyon, wag na padaanin sa due process yan. Pasensya na po, pasensya na Yusek, I'm not against you but against your bosses. Ganito lang kasi, hanggang you cannot explain to us na etong due process ay hindi nasunod kay Pangulong Duterte. Even the Supreme Court says that. Hindi man sinabi ng Supreme Court na directly using the Duterte's case. Pero alinaw na sinabi ng Supreme Court about extradition. He has to face the court. Second, he can bail. Andun nun, alinaw nun, May panahon siya para magpaliwanag. Supreme Court na po nagsabi niyan. And that is exactly what happened to PRRD. Biglang dinala. Hindi dumaan sa korte, hindi binigyan ng chance bigay ng counter affidavit. Simple lang naman yan In any case, whether it's crime or civil, hahayaan ng korte nang magbigay ng counter affidavit. Doon pa nga lang sa fact na sinabi ninyo na yung official ng DOJ na kasama doon sa nanghuli kay Pangulong Duterte ay quote-unquote as a justice or court, doon pa lang sablay na But again, let's just assume it's true. Let's just assume na, sige, pinayagan ng batas yan kahit isang malaking katarantaduhan. But still, the law says, kailangan mabigyan siya ng opportunity sumagot. Magbigay ng kanyang counter affidavit. Did you allow that to happen? Yusek? Di ba hindi? I know it's not you. It's your boss. But still, kaya nga, marami sa amin ang naiinis at nabibuwisit dyan sa salitang due process. Hindi nyo binigay yan sa Pangulong nagmalasakit sa taong bayan, sa mga Pilipino. Hindi nyo ibinigay tapos ngayon, puro kayo due process. Nalantaran ng nakikita natin ng mga ebidensya dito sa tao na ito. Duterte supporter lang po ba ang nagbulgar niyan? Hindi. From the engineers, from the contractor, even from his security aide, kasamahan niya sa Congress, binulgar yan. And yet, wala pang kaso. Kasakit, di ba, sa Pilipinas? Matindi.
That all the areas are covered with sufficient evidence, but we are presently developing this. Right now, the bits and pieces of evidence coming from the whistleblowers are already sufficient. But until and unless they have signed the MOA with the WPP, Witness Protection Program, and they have volunteered formally the affidavits to constitute their testimony to be given against the proponents, including Zaldico, then we cannot yet make this part of the evidence because they have to voluntarily offer this testimony. And we are leading to that. We are concluding within the next few weeks the memorandum of agreement with the whistleblowers, with the main whistleblowers, and with that, we will now proceed with the filing of appropriate cases with everybody, not just...
So ayan ha. Ito naman, ipapakita ko lamang po sa inyo yung dahilan o yung bagang masasabi nating sinabi nitong kanyang mga abogado.
Hindi ba sa
Ay, sorry naman. Hindi yan, ha? Ito.
Alright,
Ay,
now,
hindi yan. Saan na yun? Nawala. Wait, chotomate. Kasi importante ito, eh. Dito, Ay, wala. Hindi ko pala na ano. Anyway. Importante kasi yun, ha? Anyway, ito muna po, bago yan. Ibay muna natin ng usapan. Ito muna ang pagdating kay Romualdez. Nakakatawa ko kasi ito. Ito, napaka-importante rin pag-usapan ito dahil ito isa sa mga isang katawa-tawa na namang ginawa ni Remulla. Ito si Remulla talaga, no? Kahit saan mapunta, talagang katawa-tawa ang ginagawa. Mapanoorin nyo?
Hindi ba sa lahat ng investigasyon, itinuturo si Saldico na may malaking kinalaman dito sa maanumalyang flood control project? Pero ayon kay Ombudsman Crispin Remulla,
Ano yan?
Teka. Hindi po pwedeng si Saldico lang yan.
Agoy!
Iyan ang sinasabi ko.
O yun, palakpakan natin. Tama, palakpakan pagmalibanatan. Hindi lang daw naman si Saldico. Sino pa ba?
Hindi pwede. Pwede bang si Saldico, ang chairman ng House of Appropriations Committee, pero yung mas mataas sa kanya, walang alam dyan?
Oo.
Kasi siya, napakatagal ding congressman ni Congressman Boying Remulla bago naging DOJ at bago
Yes.
naging ombudsman.
Sabi ni Ombudsman, hindi pwede.
Ba?
Dapat dyan managot din
Sino?
si dating speaker Martin Romualdez.
Agoy!
Teka lang, di ba ang usually naman
Oh. Palakpakan natin. Dapat din daw managot si Romualdez. Ang lupit talaga. Ibang level. Kailangan. Yeah? Ang galing naman. Ang galing. Palakpakan natin yan. O sige, tuloy niya.
ang mga House leadership, binoboto ng kapulungan yan eh.
Oo.
Di ba? Ganun ang anong paliwanag niya. Bakit? Siyempre...
Dahil siya daw ang naglagay ng chairman ng House Appropriations Committee.
Ayun.
Kay Saldico. Kaya yan naupo sa pwesto.
choice niya, tapos binoto sa plenaryo.
Kung sino yung gusto ng speaker, siyang masusunod.
Ayun.
Hindi ba?
Tama yun, tama.
Kaya dahil dyan, ang sabi niya, kung kakasuhan si Saldico,
Ano?
kakasuhan din ng ombudsman si dating speaker Romualdez.
Yung palakpakan. Gago. Taba. O, kakasuhan daw si Romualdez.
Ang sinasabi ko, Boying Remulla yan?
Boying Remulla yan.
Ombudsman?
Ombudsman ito.
Mabigat.
Ito ang dating DOJ secretary.
Mabigat.
Ito ang nagsabing, yes, you can bend the law
Yo.
to please the people. Yes, sir.
Yes. Hindi, mukhang sa tingin ko, kung talagang desidido siya at interesado, abay, gawin siguro. Di ba?
Ano ang dapat mo na itanong dyan?
Kailan nila kakasuhan? Talagang kakasuhan ba talaga nila?
Kakasuhan.
Aba.
Si Saldico at si Speaker?
Sabay-sabayan. Oh.
Aba, di nga. Lupit, ha?
Eh, paano ngayon ito?
Isa pang tanong.
Ano siya
Sana matangyan mo yun. Para sa sagot na ito.
Ako, hindi ko alam eh.
Di ba may kaso, kailan? Ano pa ang dapat mo itanong?
Ano yung kakaso?
Ayun! Sabi natin.
Yan. Baka magdiwang yan ng... Kasi sabi ni Ombudsman Boying, may mga magdiriwang daw ng bagong taon sa
Bilangguan.
kulungan eh. Ano yung kakaso dyan?
Tingnan natin yung kakaso dyan. Tingnan natin, ha? Tingnan natin. Kasi, sabi, di ba, tama naman yung sinasabi nila eh, na sabi ni Boying, meron daw mga ilan na magdidiwang sa loob ng bilangguan. Yun. Ako. Yan kaya, kasama na si Romualdez dyan. O, yun. Gago! Siyempre, yung mga Gen Z na mga pingtae, sisigaw na naman sila, ikulong na yan, mga kulangot, ikulong na yan. Yan, siyempre, pagka hindi nyo pa ikinulong yan. Tingnan nga natin.
Na? Humawa kayo sa inyong mga upuan.
Ayan, yan. Hawak.
Sige, nakahawak.
Magsuot kayo ng seatbelt kung kayo nasa sasakyan.
Yan. Naku, parang-
Sarado ang mga bintana dahil baka may biglang malakas na hangin.
Para baka mabigla na naman ako dyan.
Magugulat ka rito.
Seatbelt.
Ano ang ikakaso ng ombudsman kay dating speaker Martin Romualdez?
Ayan.
Kasi may mga wala naman ako kinalaman sa pagbuo yun eh. Kami huy sa leadership eh, ang 2 taon lang bumubuo niya.
Hindi.
Speaker
Speaker ka, dapat may kaso ka rin. Yan ang sabi ni Remulla.
Okay.
Anong kaso?
Ang kaso mo ay
Oo.
gross inexcusable negligence.
Gross inexcusable negligence.
Kapabayaan.
Kapabayaan. Ano pa?
Yun lang.
Ayan lang.
Ha!
Tama tama siya, nahulog ako sa silya ko dahil doon. Pambihira ang buhay. Buti na lang may seatbelt ako. Di ba? Pambihira. Ang tindi nung kaso na yun, ha? Gross negligence. Hindi. Tingnan nga natin yung gross negligence na yan. Ano ba yung kaso na yan? Tanong natin yung ating kaibigan na si ChatGPT. Gross negligence case. Okay? Case and penalty. Tingnan natin kung ano yung gross negligence. Ayan na. Ang lupit. Gross negligence in Philippine law covers negligence as source of liability, quasi-delict, provides that those guilty of fraud, negligence, or delay in fulfilling obligation are liable for damages, recognize gross negligence as equivalent to bad faith in certain situation. In criminal case, gross negligence may result in criminal negligence under imprudence and negligence. So, parang mga may hina lang itong mga kaso na ito, Mukhang, hindi kasi, sabi dito, a public official found grossly negligence may be dismissed from service, suspended, or fined under, ganun. Gross negligence of duty, dismissal from service with loss of benefit and disqualification. Yun lang. Hindi, alam nyo mga kababayan, alam nyo kung bakit ito ang kinaso. Pinapaliwanag ko na ito kahapon, Itong kinaso dyan, kasi, alam naman natin, yung chairmanship ng Committee on Appropriation, yan ay pinagbobotohan. So, kayang-kayang tablahin ni Romualdez yan at sabihin niyang, sandali, speaker lang ako dito. By law, hindi kasi pwedeng by theory lang By law, ako speaker lang at hindi po ako ang naglalagay ng chairman ng appropriation. Yan ay pinagbobotohan ng body. So, doon pa lang, lusot na kagad. Gago! Kaya tuloy natatawa itong dalawang idol natin
Delayed reaction. Nakakabigla na.
Mamaya pakinggan natin mismo. Hindi nga krimen to.
Hindi, baka graft and corruption, plunder.
Excusable negligence lang. Negligence.
Unexcusable.
Gross unexcusable. Pinano lang pinalala lang, pero
Hindi, kasi unexcusable Hindi mapapatawad na kapabayaan.
Pero durahin mo na yung adjective na yon. Negligence ho ang kaso.
Kapabayaan.
Parang sila magmakasalaysay. Yan lang. Magpaliwanag ka. Talaga naman, ombudsman.
Naku po, patay tayo dyan. Talagang sablay na sablay ho itong inaano ng ombudsman. Kaya tuloy natatawa itong mga idol natin dahil kitang-kita naman po natin, di ba? Hay nako. Anyway, matindi ho. Ito. Itong isang ano na ito, ang lupit nito. Sandali Medyo muntikan na silang magkasagutan dito nung in-interview niya. Abogado nung ni Zaldico. Ang lupit ng usapan nila dito. Itatagalog natin kasi English po ito. Alam mo naman tayo, yan ang ating major. Major sa ating kolehiyo. Major in English speaking. Yeah? Tuloy.
Attorney Roy Rondain. Attorney Rondain, thanks for taking our call. Welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me, Carmina. How are you today?
I'm good. And yourself?
Good, thanks.
All right. So I watched your press conference yesterday, Attorney Rondain, and you said several times there that you had to speak up because the narratives are being skewed.
Yeah.
Let me cut to the chase,
Right.
Attorney Rondain. What is the truth
Sure.
according to your client?
Grabe magtanong din itong babaeng to. Itong babaeng to medyo may pagkamalupit magtanong ito. What is the truth according to your client? It's not the truth. It's supposed to be the truth. The truth is not a parang may ang tawag doon, merong parang hinaluan mo ng opinion. Hindi. Truth is truth. Hindi mo pwedeng halimbawa, sinabi ko ito ay kulay dilaw, di ba? Kahit ang opinion mo sa side mo, ay sabihin mo, ito'y kulay pula. Hindi, nagsasama lang minsan talaga ang dilaw at pula. Pero ito'y dilaw. Kahit anong gawin mo, dilaw ito. This is the truth. There is no another way of saying this. Di ba? Na ayan ay kulay pula. Hindi. Pareho lang sila ng prinsipyo sa buhay. Pero ito'y dilaw. Di ba? Kaya nga dito pa lang medyo sa feeling ko na ano na itong abogado na-adjit na ito.
Well, there's no whole narrative because we don't have enough time for me to explain the entire narrative. What I said was we had to recalibrate, we had to correct the narrative because it had gotten so skewed that the people were being misled. I will give you, or my client will give you his entire version of the truth in due time. We're not going to have enough time today, Carmina.
Now, give us a glimpse, Attorney Rondain. I mean, it's the first time that we've heard something from your client through you, the first time in months, and people are very curious as to what the truth is according to Zaldico.
For example, people have been coloring the term insertions, and they're saying that there is now general belief that an insertion is illegal. And I explained yesterday that it is not illegal. In fact, it's a very colored term that everyone's been doing it since forever. And the fact that it's been done doesn't automatically invite corruption. Now, part of my client's narrative is that he didn't receive any kickbacks, as claimed by some alleged witnesses, and he did not commit any crime. And the fact that he's being persecuted now indicates to me anyway that a prejudgment on his case has been made. Everything else in between will take a lot of time because I don't want to mislead anyone. Again, I'm not inclined to do that.
Since the press conference yesterday, Attorney Rondain, were you able to speak to your client?
Yes, I spoke with him this morning.
And what did he say?
He was quite happy with the press conference because at least he said that some people...
Oo nga naman, kung sobrang dami mong pera, happy ka talaga. Oo. Madami naman talaga siyang pera eh. Liglig, siksik. Di ba talaga magiging happy siya?
That people will have heard his side, and he's hoping that those who are sober enough will at least take some of the things I said and some of the things he wanted to convey to heart, and maybe step back and dial down the temperature.
Here's the thing, though, when you listen to and watch the press conference yesterday, it was really more of explanations, right? And sort of like separating your client from the business, right? And therefore separating what could be his liability. But still there is that anger coming from the people. What does he say? What does he have to say about that anger from the people, Attorney Rondain?
Okay, one thing at a time. Separating his personality as a person from his personality as a stockholder. That's not my invention. That's not my legal fiction. That's created by law. That an individual has a separate personality distinct from a corporation of which he's a member. So if a corporation in which he owns stock commits a wrong, he's not contaminated. It's that simple. That's not a legal excuse. That's not acrobatics or anything. That's the law. Separate corporate personality.
Okay, let me just cut you there.
Sandali. Nagagalit na si ate. Nagagalit na. Ito na. Babanat na.
The way you explain it, some would say, and I want you to answer this, that's a perfect cover-up. That's very convenient. It is the law, yes, but it can serve as a perfect cover-up and a very convenient one at that. Your reaction to that and your defense. Go ahead.
It's not a cover that I created. It's what the law says because it's necessary for commerce. Now, if they're saying that it's being used, that the cover is being used as to perpetrate fraud, there's a remedy. They have to go to court and pierce the corporate veil and hold the stockholder liable for the actions of the corporation. It's not ironclad. There are solutions, but you can't blame a person for using a defense that's available to him in law. Now, they're angry about it because I didn't get the last part of your question. They're angry because I'm using that as a cover?
Well, you perfectly answered it already. I was asking you about, your defense to that people might see your explanation as the perfect cover-up or the convenient way out of this. But as you said, there's a way to pierce that corporate veil. Let me go back now to the other question, which is, how does a former congressman see the anger coming from the people?
I was hoping that the press briefing yesterday would relieve the anger a little bit, would dial it down.
Malabo yun. Hindi, pero in fairness in fairness naman dito kay Zaldico, ako, patas tayo. Kahit yan po, dinimanda tayo niyan. Talagang siya lang ang diniin ng administrasyon na to. Obvious na obvious Para bagang nilaglag na siya. Ito, ilaglag na natin to ng todo-todo sa bangin para lahat ng sisi mapunta sa kanya. Di ba? Parang ganun ang ginawa para maligtas si Romualdez, para maligtas si Marcos. And I believe the children is the future. I believe may tama itong abogado niya. May tama itong abogado niya in a sense na ito pong si Zaldico ay talagang lahat ay tila kanya Kanya yung, alam mo yun, kanya ang sisi, sa kanya lahat ang, para bagang siya lang lahat ang may kasalanan. Parang parang ganun eh. At marami ang nadideceive dyan. Ako naniniwala ako may kasalanan si Zaldico. Oo, marami. Lalong-lalo na sa akin. Biro lang. Maraming kasalanan ito. Pero hindi lang siya. Kaya nga may tama itong abogado na sinasabing medyo na-deceive din yung mga tao na tila sising-sisi kay Zaldico. Tama. Hindi lang siya. May kasama pang iba. Dapat ganun. Problema, puro si Zaldico na lang eh.
But I have received mixed reactions to the press con. Some people are saying that, I didn't know, and now I have context, and it seems that we've been quick to judge after all. And some people are, of course, just spitting fire and fury. There's nothing I can do about people who refuse to listen to reason. So,
But what does your client have to say about the anger?
same thing. He's sad, but what would you do, Carmina, if you're accused wrongly of a crime?
I would defend
What is it
myself.
that people expect you? Defend yourself from what and how?
I mean, I would show up. I would show
And
up
do what?
and
do
defend
what? Get
myself
strung up?
personally and not use.
That's the
Grabe pa yung pag-irap si ate, may side eye. Sabi niya haharap daw siya and not use. Parang ikaw, grabe. Itong si ate, may pag... tingnan mo, may pag-irap baga.
Like
Carmina,
you.
defend yourself from what? I explained this yesterday. I was hoping that people would get this. When you accuse someone of a crime, you have to accuse him specifically. You have to say what, when, where, who, and how. So people want him to come home and to defend himself from what? I'm asking you now. What's the charge?
Well, that's going the legal route, and I understand you perfectly because that's your job, right?
That's right.
But
That's right.
there is this moral calling as well. I mean, the accusations are grave. I want to ask you: does he realize the gravity of these accusations? Take it away from the court, but the accusations
No.
outside of it, does he
No.
realize the gravity? Go ahead.
No, he does not, because he doesn't know what the accusations are, and I'm the first line of defense. What are the accusations? Tell me before I defend, because that's a misconception. Most people want me to prove that my client is innocent. I don't have to do that. That's not the way our laws are drafted. Our laws are drafted such that if you accuse someone of a crime, you have to prove it. An accused doesn't have to prove innocence. It's up to the prosecution to prove that he's guilty. So if you're saying that he should come home and defend himself, my first question will be, defend himself from what?
Okay, let's go into that.
Accusations.
Yan. Kasi yan ang paulit-ulit na pinopoint out nitong abogado na ito eh. Wala pang kaso eh. Ano accusation? Paulit-ulit niya, kahapon niya pa sinasabi eh. Pati ngayon pa rin. Yan. So magsasagutan na sila nitong nag-i-interview sa kanya.
Accusation.
The accusation is this: that he was responsible for the insertions together with the former Speaker of the House, now Congressman Martin Romualdez. And there were two people who said that. At the very least, you have Congressman Toby Tiangco and former Senate President Chisa Escudero. Go ahead, attorney.
What insertions when? How
Dako,
much?
patay ka ngayon. Ayan na, magagaling ang abogado dyan eh. Saan ninakaw? Where asan ba yung mga yan? Ayan. Tadaanin ka na sa technicality niyan. Ate,
You see the problem? You can't make a generic accusation. You can't make a general, universal accusation. You say, you're guilty of corruption. Come home and defend yourself. Corruption? Corruption? How? When? Where? What?
patay ka ngayon. Yari ka. Ang talino ni kuya. Mukhang maililigtas pa si Zaldico. Napatay tayo dyan. Nayari si ate.
So, to answer me this, did he have anything to do with the
Which
insertions?
I'm asking you. I'm answering you. I'm asking you what insertions? What
Yari
year?
ka.
For the
2019, 2021?
For the budget for this year, 2025.
Ate, next time kasi pag magtatanong ka, dapat meron kang data eh. 'Di ba? Sana kinuhan mo, inaral mo yung sinabi ni Tiangco. Kasi yun, puno ng data po yun eh. 'Di ba? Ito yung mga insertion na ipinasok ni Zaldico. Ako, just saying dapat ganun. Kasi nga, kung abogado yung i-interviewin mo na malupit, mukhang malupit si kuya eh. Yari ka talaga.
Insertions? Which insertions?
Yari ka, patay
So
ka.
this is how you're going to defend your client, by going through the line
I can't
item by
help it.
line item.
Yes, because you're accusing him of a crime, and it's my job to find out what exactly you're accusing him of. There's no such thing. I don't know why this is difficult to comprehend. There's no such thing as a
Nadali ka tuloy, hindi ko alam kung anong mahirap intindihin dito. Actually, pumipitik na yung abogado dito eh. Pinipitik niya na yung babae. Pero yung babae man, matikas din sila. Wala akong kinakampihan dito. Basta gusto ko makulong si Zaldico. Pero matigas din yung babae eh. Tingnan niyo.
universal accusation. If you say that I stole something, I stole millions, for example, you have to tell me where I stole it from, how much exactly I stole, how I stole it, when I did. You can't tell me that I should defend against an accusation of theft or robbery. That's the way it is.
Okay, what about being the chairman of the Appropriations Committee? What about being part of this small committee? What about the missing minutes that cannot be given to the public? That's what Congressman Toby Tanco is also saying. Maybe you're confident about saying which insertions, which line item, and all of that, because there is nothing as of the moment that would point to a certain insertion, because the minutes of the small committee, they're nowhere to be found. No one is releasing it.
I don't know. I don't know the details of the accusation.
Why don't you ask your client? Have you asked your client about it?
You're missing the whole point, Carmina. I can only ask him.
Alam mo, logically may punto ito eh. Although pinagtatanggol niya mali. Pero may punto ito eh. Kasi yung naging interview sa kanya medyo kulang sa details eh. Para bagang sinasabi niya, entire corruption lang. Eh, tinatanong nga siya anong specific. Kailangan masagot niya. Sana you came prepared.
About a certain accusation. I can't ask him about general accusations. That's the whole point of this conversation. You have to tell me what it is. Now, if Representative Bianco has a...
Alam mo bakit? Ang problema ito. Kaya naiipit si ate. Ang problema kasi, there is no case to talk about. Nagigets nyo? It's all propaganda of the government. I'm not saying it's not true, ha? Ako, naniniwala ako merong kagagawan nito si Zaldico. Okay? But I cannot, hindi pa pwedeng, it's not what you believe, it's what you can prove. Diba? How can you prove if there is no case? Yun ang problema natin eh. Kaya nga sabi ko sa inyo, yung puro satsat tayo ng satsat, putang ina, walang kwenta yan kung hanggang ngayon hindi pa kinakasuhan ng gobyerno ito. Ang dami pa nilang sinasabi. Para tayong tanga eh. Accuse tayo na accuse. Diba? Salita ng salita itong lintik na gobyerno to. Mahiya naman kayo, galit kami. Sino ba nauna na gano'n na si Marcos, di ba? Pero asan ang kaso? That's why this lawyer is winning in the argument kasi there is no case. Nakikita nyo? Di ba? Kaya magaling yung abogado eh. Lumabas siya, wala pang kaso. Tapos pag may kaso na, sasabihin niya, hindi na pwedeng pag-usapan kasi may kaso na. Gago! Eh di na ipagtanggol niya na kagad yung kanyang kliyente. Kasi nga, ang tagal ng lintik na kaso na yan.
Accusation on specifics, then he should file it in court. I don't want to litigate this on the media because he has a bigger forum, a better and a louder forum than I do. He has the Congress. He can deliver a privilege. He can go on TV anytime. I don't have that. I don't have that power.
So he doesn't understand why.
He does not understand.
He does not understand the
my
anger.
client? No, he does. He does. But you're asking me to explain it away. I can't. Because I don't know what the accusations are.
No, but how does he take this whole situation? What is his appreciation and understanding why what is happening is happening to him?
He feels very bad that there's a lot of anger, but he doesn't understand why he's the target. Because you're saying, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say because he hasn't answered the accusations, and I'm going to say again, what accusations?
When did your client feel that the tide was turning against him?
I think a couple of weeks after the SONA, when it started exploding, little explosions initially, and then when it reached critical mass, then that's when he felt it.
By the way, I wanted to ask you as well before we start the conversation. How is your client doing health-wise?
He's all right, I assume. Of course, he has his medical problems like most people, but he's okay.
Medical problems of most people? Parang hindi naman ata tama yung sagot na yun. At sabihin nyo na lang na most people accused. Dagdagan nyo na accused. O most people na facing scandal issues. Hindi sasabihin mo lang most people. Lahat ba ng tao o most people ba may sakit? Hindi naman
Mentally and mentally, he's all right.
Enough to come back?
Mentally? Ako, I doubt that. Honestly kung bagbabasihan ko yung mga demanda niya sa akin, I doubt that na he is mentally okay.
Again, he will come back when the threat against his life is abated, when his fear of the threat against his life is abated.
But then it goes around, right? The fear.
Yes.
The fear stems from the anger of the people. You've said that as much. You said in your press conference. Have you seen social media and all that? So the fear comes from that, and you fear vigilanteism. But then the people who are angry at him have only one thing to say.
What?
And one ask for him to come home and answer. So it goes
Answer
around.
what?
And so it goes around.
Alam mo, grabe, no? Yung ano niya, ha? Yung iisa lang ang point ng abogado eh. Ano nga isasagutin? Wala naman pa eh. Paulit-ulit niya, binabara niya na nga dito eh.
We keep going around as well, you and I, because you keep asking me to answer, and I keep asking you answer what. This is a round debate.
Yeah, I'm
We're
not debating with you.
anywhere.
I'm not debating
so
with you.
they're
That's not my
getting
job.
angry. So the people are getting angry because they want him to answer. And
What?
What's he gonna answer?
Alam mo, te, wala kang panalo. Kasi hanggang ngayon, wala pang demanda, ginagawa ang lintik na gobyerno na tao. Yan ang katotohanan.
When were you engaged, Attorney Rondain, by Zaldico?
A couple of months ago.
When it started to happen?
When what started? When this whole thing blew up? No. A couple of months ago, maybe about... No. It had already started to boil over.
And what was the premise for him engaging you as his lawyer?
Defend me.
Defend him from...
Yes. From any potential legal proceedings. I mean, that is my job. That's what I'm trained to do.
So he knew at that time, that early.
Well, I assume that any reasonable person would accept that there's a possibility, there's a high possibility.
Inuhuli siya ng babae. Napapansin? Inuhuli siya ng babae na, so alam niya na may problema. Alam niya na merong ano. Gusto ko yan.
Possibility that legal proceedings would be initiated. And a smart person would engage a lawyer before he needs a lawyer.
And
So-
what exactly did he see to make him engage your services? Because as you said a while ago...
What did he say?
Go ahead. Sorry,
I don't understand the question. What exactly did he say?
What exactly did he see and felt at that time to make him engage her services when he started seeing the tide turn against him?
Oh, he probably felt that the trouble was coming, that he was going to be blamed for some things, and that's exactly what's going on now.
He was going to be blamed.
Yes.
By whom?
Let me stop there because we're starting to go into attorney-client privilege conversation. So I have to stop right there.
Does he have his
At the proper time. At the proper time.
Does he have his
That will be
entire
disclosed.
family with him?
I don't know. I still don't know. I was asked that yesterday. I still don't know today.
The allegation, one of the accusations as well, is that none of this would have happened without your client, and your client wouldn't have been so confident. This is one of the allegations, to make those insertions and steal from the national coffers. Had it not been for the former Speaker of the House, Martin Romualdez, what do you know about where that relationship stands as we speak? The relationship between your client and the former Speaker of the House.
I can't answer that question because there's a premise I don't agree with. The premise is that he stole. And I cannot concede that premise, so I will not answer that question. However, I can isolate the latter part of the question on where his relationship with the former speaker stands now. I have no reason to believe that it is not as it was before.
Sorry, can you repeat it? You have no reason to
I have
believe.
no reason to believe that his relationship is not as it was before.
And why do you say so?
Because I have no reason to believe that it's changed.
All right. Can you categorically say, Attorney Rondain, that your client did not steal a single
Yes.
centavo from the national coffers?
Yes. Yes, I can categorically declare that.
And what's your reason for saying that?
Because it's the truth. And there is no evidence to the contrary.
When you talk to the people, though, and they say this person said this, delivered money, there's a money trail and all that, and this is being laid out to the public for the public to digest. Is there anything that you see wrong with all these pieces of information being laid out into the public outside the court, outside legal proceedings?
Yes, absolutely. Because it builds I can't say false because I don't know exactly what they said and they weren't under oath. So from an evidentiary point of view, I can't make any conclusions. But it builds a dangerous situation where people might believe otherwise inadmissible evidence, and it creates a false narrative. That's what I was trying to explain yesterday. For example, we're already assuming that money was delivered to my client because this guy said so, and that he stole billions from the government coffers. You see, that's a problem. We're building a narrative around evidence which has not been vetted and which might be inadmissible, which might be untrue to begin with. So yes, there is a problem with admitting statements like that outside of a court of law.
Let me just go back to what you said a while ago. Your client felt that he was going to be blamed. Why did he
Yes.
feel that way?
He, without disclosing too much, he was chairman of the Committee on Appropriations, and he did his job. He did what was incumbent upon him as chairman. He didn't cut any corners. He didn't do anything else. He did what was incumbent on him. And if something about the budget blows up, who are they going to blame? The chairman of the Committee on Appropriations. It's a
Yan po kasi yung alam mo mga kababayan, ako talaga 100% naniniwala